Hi everyone, Calvin Hoy here, the Cinephile. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for clicking. I really appreciate it. So, I am back. It's 2022. I've been doing this for 3 years now, which is incredible. I think it'll be 3 years in April. But anyways, today I want to focus on the most anticipated films of 2022, according to me. So this is just my opinion, but I'm going to start off with some honorable mentions. So I want to do a top 10 list. But it's sort of like a top 12 list because there's two honorable mentions that I want to talk to you about that didn't quite make it into my top 10. So, number 12, or the first honorable mention, would be Super Mario Bros. So that's directed by Michael Jelenic and Aaron Horvath, and they sorry, and they directed Teen Titans Go a couple of years ago. It has Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, and Seth Rogen and Fred Armisen, who's of SNL fame. So why is it number 12? Well, it sounds cool, and they have some good casting there. I think Chris Pratt's, whatever people think of him, can do a good voice, and Anya Taylor-Joy is talented. I think she's obviously playing the princess. So Princess Peach. So I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Will I think it will be as subversive or as intelligent as the Lego Movie? Probably not. But I think it'll be fun and entertaining, and hopefully it does have a little bit of that sort of deeper meaning or deeper themes that you might not expect, because it's sort of like obviously for a younger audience, but also it can be a little bit dark or a little bit introspective. So we'll see what happens with that. So far, they just released a poster that looks pretty cool with the question mark, the block. If you ever played Super Mario, I used to play Super Mario all the time, so I really liked those games when I was younger. So hopefully, it's a good film, and it's animated, so I think that helps. I think like if they try to do a live action Super Mario, it'd be pretty bad. It's pretty difficult to translate to screen. Okay, so that was number 12, or my first honorable mention. So my second honorable mention would be Elvis. So this is a new film by Baz Luhrmann, and I'm going to keep it on my list because he directed Moulin Rouge, which is one of my favorite films. I just watched it again for, I think, the third time all the way through last year or a couple of years ago. Anyways, so he's making an Elvis film. It sounds interesting, but the actor they cast for Elvis is very thin. So unless he gains weight, or because Elvis was never, a thin guy. He was pretty slightly muscular and slightly, to be honest, even before he gained a lot of weight, he was always like a healthy guy, even at 16. So the actor they got is Austin Butler, who was actually okay, decent in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but again, very thin. It looks nothing like Elvis, like literally nothing like him, right? It's like they don't look like brothers, they don't look like cousins, nothing. So I am mixed on this one, but I love Elvis's music. I've listened to it since I was, much younger, a teenager, and his voice, of course. So it's an interesting proposition to make a feature-length film about the man, the legend. It'll be difficult because there's a lot to cover, and I think I did watch a couple of scenes from, I think his name's Jonathan Ray Myers, or anyways, he was hot at one point, like hot as an actor. But he did like a 2 episode, like in total it was like 3 hours, 2 episode or 3 episode miniseries on Elvis, and so that was the closest that we've got to it, like a really decent story of Elvis, and he met Priscilla, and of course he was acting with attractive actresses and all that. So I remember watching a little bit of that. I didn't watch the whole thing, to be honest, so I can't say, I can't judge it. But it is Baz Luhrmann. He's very hit and miss, so we shall see what happens with that. The last Luhrmann film I saw was The Great Gatsby, which is uh, which is okay. It's not a great film because it's not very, sort of interesting. What's the word? Sort of like modern music for that time period. It's, some people don't like that. But yeah, it was okay. Alright, so now we're getting to my list, the top 10. So number 10 would be Jurassic World Dominion. The end of the trilogy. And Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum are all returning. Now I know that's not that special because Jeff Goldblum was in the last one, the second one of this new trilogy. And Neill and Dern did return for Jurassic Park 3 in 2005, I believe. No, 2001. Right? Around that time. I actually like Jurassic Park 3. I enjoyed it when I watched it in theaters. But hopefully they're used well. Hopefully it's not just, hi-bye. I don't think so. I think they'll, have one scene at least, or two or three, like long scenes. And they can help out. But yes, it is the end for this trilogy. And then I don't know where it goes from there. But anyways, it's Jurassic World Dominion. They also have a show on Netflix, I believe. It's like for children, which I heard is popular. I've never watched it, but I heard it's doing well, the franchise. But anyways, I did enjoy the first one, and I didn't hate the second one as much as some people did. Second one got some bad reviews, and some people really disliked it. But I thought it was entertaining enough, and it still had some, ethical questions about the dinosaurs and whatnot. So yeah, Jurassic World Dominion is number 10. Number 9 would be Bullet Train. So this is, there's a little bit of hype around this because Brad Pitt's attached, and they filmed with him. So David Leitch, or David Lecce, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He directed John Wick, or was a co-director on John Wick, and Hobbs and Shaw was himself, just by himself. So that will tell you what kind of film you can expect, I think. Probably rated R, probably violent action, possibly a good story. We'll see. I mean, Hobbs and Shaw was really not great. I thought it had its moments, was so, it wasn't anything special. They didn't do anything that was sort of like, oh, I've never seen that before, or, oh, it's so original, or the action's so good. Like, I think even Shang-Chi, the action's much better than that. Recent examples. Maybe I watched, what was it, F9? I think the action in that is like crazier, I suppose. I don't know if it's better, but it's crazier. But yes, the setup, the plot is killer. So it's about 5 assassins on the same bullet train. So, incredibly fast train. I'm sure they will be hunting each other at some points of the film. And it sounds like a cool premise. So we shall see. It stars Brad Pitt, Joey King, Sandra Bullock, I think she replaced Lady Gaga actually, and Aaron Taylor-Johnson. So it has a very, very decent cast. Very decent actors. It'll be interesting to see Joey King in something like this because she's actually been in a lot of like teenage, because she's young. She's like in her 20s, I think, or mid-20s now. But she was like in The Kissing Booth, right? That trilogy on Netflix, and she was in another one like Summer '98 or something like that. I don't know. I didn't watch that one, but I did watch The Kissing Booth, and her acting is decent, and like she's, a cute girl, I suppose. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see her in like in an action film, and she's the youngest cast member here, so that's always interesting to see like how the youngest cast member does in a film, right? Sometimes, I mean, she's not that young, she's in her mid-20s, so we know she can act, but the kids, like even teenagers, right, like the acting's not quite there, so we shall see. But yeah, sounds like a good film, and I want an action film on this list because there's not too much action on here, and I'm not, I like action as much as anyone else, but I really like all of it. I like romantic comedies, animated films, of course, anything. But yeah, so that is number 9, Bullet Train. Number 8 is Luck from Skydance Animation. So this is sort of under the radar, and people might be asking, well, why did you choose this film? Because there isn't a poster. I think they released like a single image of a female character, animated character, of course. It's from Skydance Animation. So a female character and a black cat. And it looks cute. But, so there's no poster, there's no trailer. It's supposed to come out in March. I hope it comes out. I think it's done. in 2022. I mean, the pandemic did mess them up a little bit, but I think they changed directors on this film, so I think they had some issues in the first couple of years producing this film. But so it is from John Lasseter, and whatever you want to think about him as well, he knows what he's doing. He's a good storyteller. So I am excited about that aspect, and it's from a new sort of animation studio, and that's always interesting to me, like what they can do, because it's very, like I'm a Disney guy, you know, I love Disney, especially Disney animation, but it's always interesting to see like what can other studios do, like are they going to be stranger, are they going to be more violence, etc. Like this one doesn't look violent or anything like that, but it's finally coming out on Apple TV. I think it's supposed to come out in March this year or April, and they haven't started promoting it, so I don't know. So in terms of being anticipated, I just want to see the darn thing. They've been working on this since 2018, I think, or 2017, like when they first like announced, oh, we have this idea and we have the, you know, crew and director, and we're gonna start doing it. So I hope it's good and memorable, of course. It will be directed by Peggy Holmes, who directed a couple of Tinkerbell films, and produced by John Lasseter. So I know that the Tinkerbell films might not instill confidence in you or me, to be perfectly honest. But one of them, I think it was the Pirates Fairy, did get over 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I mean, those are adults watching this animated film. That's obviously for a younger audience. But yeah, and it's a female-led film, you know, directed by a woman, so that's always good. So we shall see. I really just want to see this one. That's why it's number 8. You know, I just want to see it. Like, I just want to see, is it actually good? Was it worth that wait? Probably not. I mean, it's 4 years, 4 to 5 year wait. But hopefully it's decent. Okay, so number 7 would be Don't Worry, Darling. So that is from Olivia Wilde. She's the director. I think it's her second feature-length film. She did a great job with Booksmart. You know, I enjoyed it. I laughed. I thought it was good. I thought some of the shots were really good. Surprisingly emotional and well shot. So this is a completely different genre. So it'll be interesting to see if she can transition successfully. Pardon me. It looks lush. Really well shot again. Features Chris Pine, Florence Pugh, who is set to become an absolute superstar. She already is, sort of. And Harry Styles is in it. So, yeah, good cast. I think, I don't even know what the plot's about, to be honest. I mean, there was a little teaser that came out late last year about a housewife and her husband and the company he works for, and they're up to no good. They're doing something bad, because bad things are going to happen to Florence Pugh in that film, I'm sure. So it's a thriller / mystery or suspense film. So that's cool. I wanted something a little bit different on my list as well. So yeah, number 7 is Don't Worry, Darling. And Florence Pugh is, I think she was nominated for an Academy Award already. And she's 24, 25. She's pretty young. 26 now. But anyways, she was in Black Widow as Yelena. Yeah. And anyways, so yeah, hopefully it's good. I think it's theatrical. And hopefully it's one of those films that surprises people pleasantly. But we will see. Okay, so number 6 would be Lyle Lyle Crocodile. It's probably a film you've never heard of. I was just looking it up. I was going through, you know, the Wikipedia page, like what's coming out this year, 2022. And I saw this film, Lyle Lyle Crocodile. But what really caught my eye was it's from the songwriters of La La Land and The Greatest Showman. So they're writing the songs for this animated / live action hybrid film. I'm expecting some good songs, some great songs. So yeah, I haven't seen anything except concept art, but those guys are very good songwriters. No matter what you think about Dear Evan Hansen or Greatest Showman or La La Land or Aladdin, they contributed 2 songs to that. They know what they're doing. You know, they're songwriters. So very good songwriters. So that's why it's so high up on my list, just because of those guys. So number 6 would be Lyle Lyle Crocodile. It's based on a book. I think it's a children's book, so it'll be interesting to see if it's sort of like Smurfs, which I never watched, to be honest, the first one or the second one. But I think the first one's decent, I guess. But the first Smurfs film, I've never seen it. but you can tell me in the comments. And yeah, so number 6 is Lyle Lyle Crocodile. I hope it's a good family film for people. Okay, so number 5 is Turning Red. So it looks super cute and funny. It's set in Toronto. Awesome. What's not to like so far? So we shall see where it ends up in the Pixar canon. They've been sort of a little bit middling lately, sort of slightly above average. I'm talking about Onward and Luca. So yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know which one I like more. I guess Onward. But yeah, sort of like in the middle of the canon, right? I think Onward I would actually put in the top 15 Pixar films. But Luca's sort of hard because there's not much plot. But it is like a cute film, a sweet film, and it's, takes place in Italy, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Turning Red, it looks like, I'm guessing it won't end up in my top 10, but that's okay. I think it would be a cute film, a decent film, maybe a film about, parenting as well, and, that sort of child-parent dynamic, because, so this, the kid, I don't even know the kid's name in the film, but it's a girl, a female character for Turning Red, and so she turns into this red panda, which is really cute when she's upset or angry, and yeah, and her mom is Chinese and her dad's white, I guess, in the film, and her mom is sort of domineering and sort of in her face all the time or on top of her. So yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. Any parent, doesn't matter your race. I think parents in general are pretty. Usually, I mean, there's some bad parents out there, but I mean, usually one of your two parents is on your case about something, right? Or they're sort of like watching you. What are you doing? What are you saying, right? And sometimes they're pretty strict. So, anyways, number 5 is Turning Red. Okay, great. Man, I'm just going through these. All right, number 4. All right, this might surprise some people, but number 4 is the Batman. I love Batman. It's one of my favorite characters. I love what he stands for. Of course, I love the darkness, usually. I do think there's a point where you can get too dark, which some people have said this film might venture into. Batman Returns is too dark for me. Besides the first, a one-time watch. Yeah, so anyways, so why is it number 4? I hate WB. I'm just going to say it. I hate Warner Brothers. I don't hate the entity. I hate the management right now. They need to be fired. They need to be given their pink slips. And hopefully that happens when Discovery takes over in 5 months' time. Because they are just not fit for leadership. Like, I don't know how you can lose literally like over $100 million, $150 million, $200 million in the past 5 years and still have your job. Like, I don't understand that. Like, people, like, do you know what I mean? Like, people are fired for having a poor attitude or being lazy or being late. Do you know what I mean? And these guys are, like, they're still in power. It's pretty incredible, but I hope Discovery just sort of gets rid of them, to be honest, and just says, hey, you can work somewhere else. Thank you, but you can work somewhere else because we're taking over. So yeah, but anyways, back to the Batman. Whether I catch this in theaters or not, it's okay. I will watch it, of course, this year. I'm really curious to see how dark it is, what it does, what does it do differently about Batman. But yeah, looks incredible. Maybe a little dark or humorless, so we'll see. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'll watch it in theaters or at home. I will watch it. It is my number 4 on my top 10 list. So it's Robert Pattinson as Batman, as you all know. Zoe Kravitz as Selena, which is interesting. So as I was saying before, it's Zoe Kravitz as Selena / Catwoman, and she has a little, very homemade costume. They have Paul Dano as the Riddler, and I think the Riddler is one of my favorite villains, so I'm glad they're doing that. It's very, very, very serial killer, very the Zodiac killer, which, as horrible as it sounds, I know people lost their lives, which is horrible, but awful. But I mean, that's a character that's ripe for inspiration, obviously, for the Riddler. Like, it works really well because the Zodiac Killer sent the police, very arrogantly sent the police codes and riddles, to mock them. Like, you can't figure it out, you can't catch me. And they never did. And they still haven't to this day, even though there's, a few prime suspects. But yes, anyways, I'm really looking forward to it. Looks dark, looks incredible. I think there will be enough action, they pumped up the action and the fight sequences. It looks well shot. It's directed by Matt Reeves, so he knows what he's doing. To be honest, I've only watched 2 of his films, so the 2 8 films. I think it's Dawn, and I can't remember the third one. But yeah, the second one's very dark and very heavy, and the third one as well. But third one, the ending is not great, so that's a little bit of pause for me. But yeah, I'm sure it'll do a good job. It's the Batman, and it's the first one. Ending a trilogy is pretty difficult. I mean, the first one is usually... I mean, that's difficult too because you have to set everything up, but I mean, the third in a trilogy is really, really hard to pull off well. Alright, so number 3 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, loved... Sorry, spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but loved that the teaser played in the end credits of No Way Home. It looks fantastic and surreal. This is Sam Raimi's first film in over 10 years, I believe, in terms of release. So this could be very, very good. I actually really like the first one. It's in my top 15 MCU films. I think the music is good. I think the performances are good in the first one, and it's different, right? It's sort of like, whatever, dealing with the not cosmic, but dealing with the... I don't even know what realm it is. It's sort of like magic. Dealing with magic, okay? So yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is back. I think Rachel McAdams is back. I think they have a couple of new characters. I haven't been following it too closely. I know Emily is returning. So yeah, and it's going to be really, really good, hopefully. It looks great. Looks incredible. And yeah, I do like that it looks different, right? Like when Marvel does different things, And Doctor Strange is a prime candidate to do, like, strange, weird visuals. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope it's great. Number 2 is Killers of the Flower Moon. So you have DiCaprio, Scorsese, De Niro. I mean, what a cast, what a director. Even though he's not my favorite director of all time, I think, maybe Spielberg or other people. But anyways, the consistency is there. So I'm just going to read the plot line for you because I can't remember it. So members of the Osage or Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s. So this happened 100 years ago. Sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. I thought DiCaprio was playing a cop who's sort of haunted and has to solve this case and sort of has to go, I'm sure, against many, many antagonists, corruption and all of that. But apparently he's not. No spoilers. Apparently he's playing a very much more troubled character. And De Niro is playing a villain, I believe. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this. Yeah, it's interesting subject matter. Again, terrible, that this happened. But, it was 100 years ago, and it's sort of... And it's still happening today, right? I think that's the message. It's like Native women are... I think they're murdered 2 or 3 times more often than Caucasian women, which is... It's just horrible. Like, a lot of Native women go missing. Indigenous women, pardon me, go missing in Canada and the United States, and they're sort of never found, or they're not paid as much attention. Like, sort of people, or the cops sort of say, well, they go missing all the time, or something terrible like that. So yeah, heavy subject matter. We shall see. Again, I think this is the 6th collaboration between DiCaprio and Scorsese, and the 10th collaboration between De Niro and Scorsese, and the 2nd between De Niro and DiCaprio. So, great cast, great director. We shall see what happens. We shall see. Okay, so back to number one. And I'm sure it'll be violent and all of that and dark, as I said. I hope I can handle it. I think I can. But yeah, hopefully it's good, right? Hopefully it's entertaining and there's a message there. Okay, number one. Number one is Babylon. So, why Babylon? I haven't seen. I think there was a fan made poster. I don't know even know if it's official on Letterboxd. But there's no official poster. I don't think. There's no trailer. There's some set photos. There's no official photos. So why Babylon? Damien Chazelle. He directed La La Land, which is in my top 10 films of all time. I don't know quite where it falls, but it's in my top 10. I will say that. I think he disappointed a lot of people with First Man, because that film's very slow and very, very dramatic, and there's no music in that almost. Like it's sort of like the opposite of him doing what he's used to and what people know him for, which is a choice. But this looks up his alley. So it deals with Hollywood just in the golden age in the 1930s. So we'll see if music is a huge factor here or if it's more of a straight drama like First Man. I think it'll be in between. Like obviously I think there'll be some band playing music at some point. But yeah, I'm obviously not a musical and people singing. But it has... So I'll just look up the cast really quickly. It has Margot Robbie. I think it has... sorry. Tobey Maguire, Margot Robbie, Samara Weaving, Emma Stone. Oh no, Emma Stone was replaced by Margot Robbie. Brad Pitt, Phoebe Tonkin, Meryl Streep, Olivia Wilde, Spike Jonze for some reason. And yeah, and Lee Jung Lee is playing Anna May Wong. So she's been used as sort of like this, Anna May Wong is more famous now than she was when she started in the 1930s and 40s, which is sad. But she was in the Netflix series, Anna May Wong. I can't remember the actress's name, but here she's playing by Lee Jung Lee. So they're sort of using her as a diversity / she was basically the most famous Asian actress during those 2 decades. But she had obviously she was, passed up for roles and all of that. It's very well documented. So yeah, that is my number one, Babylon. I don't know what the film's about. There's no plot. It's a period film piece. And that's about it. So there's no information about it. But I'm guessing it's going to be a drama, and it's going to be well acted and well shot and all of that, and it'll be really interesting, hopefully. So yes, that is my top 10 list, my most anticipated list of 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I had a couple of honorable mentions in there. So my top 12 list, really. Super Mario and Elvis. But yes, so let me know what you think of my list. And what do you think? What's your most anticipated film of 2022? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Tell your friends. And follow me on Letterboxd. I'm the Cinephile 86. So look me up. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye.